one, as a winger, that's what you want most of the time, and we know how good he is Mhlambi in those type of situations.
Free kick, whipped in by Siyanda Kulu. 4 versus 4. So basically Majuna coming across to provide a bit of cover. He has to change direction. Manages to prevent Allende from getting anywhere near his intention of bursting into the TX Galaxy penalty area. And that is a clear push from Etsoalo. Man down for TX Galaxy.
Yeah, this is the push from Victor Swallow to Johannes, just to try and maybe gain an advantage, but you can see the intentions from them as well. It's just to use the speed going forward, realizing that Mamelodi Sundowns with that high line, Victor Swallow will be the person that they go to in terms of maybe occupying the space that your Modiba leaves behind.
Let's have a look at the live table then. Mamelodi Sundowns on 68 points, having completed all of their matches, and Orlando Pirates has 2 matches to play, and only 3 points behind with a greater goal difference. For TX Galaxy, well, they'd be safe from relegation, they'd be safe from the promotion playoffs if Bernard Parker and his side are able to replicate what they did in the Nedbank Cup second round on the 21st of February. Some rather glum looks up in the dugout for the dignitaries, and coach Miguel Cardoso considering his options. On the physical side from Allende on Oba Matong. Still receiving medical attention, so the elbow in the neck of the young fullback who's come through the junior ranks and has had a good season so far. His 21st appearance of the campaign. Bernard Parker having a chat to his fellow coaching staff. Chairman of Mamelodi Sundowns looking just a little bit cautious at the moment. This is how the penalty was conceded by Mdunyelwa.
And you can see that with that little bit of a jump that Lesotho had, really forced Ronald Williams to move, and that gave Lesotho an opportunity to be able to slot it against where Ronald Williams went.
Shake of the head from Mdunyelwa, and the referee quite rightly coming across and having a chat to Allende, and he's put him in the book as well, and I think that's the right decision.
Yeah, it was a little bit seedy there from Allende, especially after the ball has been cleared with that elbow from behind.
He's a fine player, and there's no real need for that, but it just senses maybe, or gives us an indication of the mood in the camp of Mamelodi Sundowns, and a sense potentially of desperation. And maybe it's a little unfortunate that they're having to play this match now, and the end of the Betway Premiership season coinciding with the finals of the CAF Champions League. But that's the reality of what it is. And Mamelodi Sundowns playing more matches than anybody else in the Betway Premiership, and this, as we said, is the finale, final match away from home as well. It's been a good season for Mamelodi Sundowns. 230 days since they lost against Abafana Bestende in September of last year. Just kept in play by Letlaku. Not able to make the turn either, Brayon Leon. Ball pinged forward by Aubrey Mutiba. And everything that Mamelodi Sundowns are throwing at TX Galaxy, they're able to suppress at the moment, and it's fascinating to see just how organised, how patient TX Galaxy have been in the opening 16.5 minutes.
Yeah, but TX Galaxy, I mean, being a team that hasn't won a game in 13 games, you're in the lead already early on into the game against Mamelodi Sundowns, that will try and, poke holes and trying to create more goal-scoring opportunities and trying to be on the score sheet. Of course, then it allows you then to have a little bit more patience, because then you're not under pressure Mamelodi Sundowns is. But yet again, the game is still on. You need to also start creating more opportunities. I think the biggest concern will be when TX Galaxy have the ball, they need to use it well.
Knocked down by Sidwin George. Talking about knockdowns, Mokoena with a bit of a push on the back of an opponent. The ball slips out here to Ketlano Letlaku again. 20-year-old. He's only got 1 goal this season, but he's a pretty brisk fella in his 10th appearance for Mamelodi Sundowns. But still, the defence continues to be organised by the Rockets. Ndunyowa. Keegan Johannes, one of 4 players carrying 3 yellow cards into this encounter. Don't forget, the cards do get carried forward to the next season. Maklambi in space, still Maklambi in space. Sidwin George! 2-0!
That we spoke of earlier as the danger of TX Galaxy whenever they do break. We spoke about Masambi being the important player whenever they do break. He needs to be the one that was on the ball, but whenever they play into the space, Letswala needs to be the one. But look at how interplay that they had. Look at the space that was created with that one touch that Masambi had to be able to create enough space in front of him, but also have options in front of him. Look at yet dispossessing the ball, but the touch becomes such an important. But look, he joins their take. Look at the amount of space that he has in front of him. Of course, he's a clever player, not playing the ball a bit early. Once he had pressure on him, he played the ball to George. George, what a good finish there. Just to close Ronan Williams there.
Surely there can be no better time in the season to score your first goal for your club.
Can you imagine the confidence that the team has? I mean, they've been struggling in front of goals. They 2 up against Mamelodi Sundowns team that is really defensively. There's been a question mark, especially compared to the last game, to the previous game that they had against Uelele.
Sidwin George played at Royal AM, played at Highbury in the first division down in Tlaberga. At the moment, TX Galaxy playing down to 10 men because Opa Motaong is still receiving attention on the near side of the pitch. And a good piece of defending then from Maklambi as well, showing that he's not just a one-trick pony by playing over the halfway line. Is your neck okay? How many fingers can you see? Can you get back onto that right-sided defensive position, Mr. Motaong? He's needed out there. If you look at the other right backs, well, you've only got Solomon Letsowenyo, who is much more of a left-sided fullback, but you do have Patrick Fisher, the former Cape Town City player, who is on the bench. He's a right-sided fullback, the 23-year-old, and has played 12 times this season. Motaong waiting for his return to the field of play. Sidwin George, in the meantime, trying to drop the ball into midway space, and Grant Kekana, I don't think there was anything purposeful in upending Sidwin George. Soles finds Allende. Bobby Madiba back to Johannes. Mamelodi Sundowns consolidating as Mamelodi Sundowns do, with the exception that there's a little bit more pace involved with that consolidation. Sales against Ndunyowa, beg your pardon, Bunjana. Bunjana's done well initially anyway.
Now there's a lot that he has to do. Bunjana defensively is going to be able to tuck in into that centre-back pairing and make it fast, because you know that within the spaces that Mamsana will try and poke, it needs to be very important in terms of getting into those spaces early on.
Another good touch from the 35-year-old captain of TX Galaxy. can't imagine that Chiefs Galaxy could have even thought about a start that they've had in this encounter. 2 goals without reply in the opening 20 minutes against the 8-time league champions. Goes foul on Maduna. Free kick to Chiefs Galaxy taken by Umbunjana. Sidwin George knocks it down. Allende tucks it back to Johannes. Now it's Mokoena. Waiting for the run to come. Letlaku, the man to provide it. Not a bad first touch either. Loving little squeezer through the middle. Tope Ira makes another tremendous save. They've had opportunities tonight, Mamelodi Sundowns, and there's been a lot of criticism about Tope Ira, but I'll tell you what, you can't fault his opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, he has kept his Galaxy in the game. 2 brilliant saves that he's pulled. First, early on, it was the Salas one with 1v1. Right now, just pulled one against Leon.
Leon again, waiting in the middle. Bunjana drops in between the centre-backs. Sundowns will have a corner. Appearance of the season for Iratape. Sipa Masetti, who came from the Transnet School of Excellence, has had just the 1 match. Opportunity for the transition play that has cost Mamelodi Sundowns already this evening. It's good tracking back by Letlaku.
You can see the danger that Chiefs Galaxy possess whenever they go forward with that speed that they had. But good defensive duties and work there that have been done by Letlaku, being one of those players that were left behind whenever there was a corner kick, because he has the speed but doesn't have the height to impact in that attack.
I know it's a bit premature. We're only a quarter of the way through the match, Takamadici, but wouldn't it be a massive feather in the cap and a confidence booster for Bernard Parker?
It is indeed.
Sidwin George.
But yet again, there's so much football that still needs to be played.
Absolutely.
So they have to hold on to it. But Mamelodi Sundowns, then they have to, try get back into the game. They will ask those type of questions that they will normally ask, get into right areas. But yet again, it is then they need to continue again, but also making sure that you close at the back for those counter-attacks that the Chiefs Galaxy might show.
There's a number of the players in the starting lineup today. They've fancied themselves to be in the starting lineup on Sunday against Asfar Toftas Versfeld in the CAF Champions League. How much pressure would those players be under today to stay away from cards, from injuries and any sort of problems? Chiefs Galaxy mounting the attack again. And that ball looks as if it might be sneaking in the right-hand upright of Williams' goal, judging by his late reaction.
You can see here with Debs here trying to turn, losing the ball. High pressure as well that have been applied by Chiefs Galaxy. Look at the numbers that they have going forward. They do have legs, but then look at how dangerous and how difficult that ball was on the ground. They've been bouncy, force Ronan Williams to go down to make that save for the corner.
Yeah, it did appear just to deflect wide in the final reckoning. Sianapulu goes deep. Bunjana with the header. The referee wants the medical staff on. Braden Leon has taken a knock in trying to assist defend that corner kick for Mamelodi Sundowns, but the Colombian is back on his feet. Bunjana's massive tonight so far. Just have to erase from your memory that early scare when he gave the ball away to Arthur Salles. But since then, I think he's been rather special. Looks like Brian Leon's going to be okay. Johannes forward by Mdunjelwa. Salles. Little Bit of inventiveness from Mamelodi. Johannes cool, calm and collected. Mbunjana trying to return where the ball came from, but no real interest, interestingly enough, from Victor Letsowalo to try and attack the ball on that occasion. TX Galaxy starting to sit behind the ball. Are they inviting trouble, Teko?
And this is the only way that his Galaxy can maintain momentum now, by just being around, behind the ball, managing spaces. That's why we spoke about Mbunjana being the one that also, when they do find those gaps, he will be the one that, gets into that centre-back pairing, because you do have Velasa, you do have George that normally, drops in there to try and mark one of the defensive midfielders from Mamelodi Sundowns. So this is how they're going to play. But then again, it is about Mamelodi Sundowns trying to poke, trying to find solutions within these lines of 4s and 5s.
Ball given away again, this time by Keegan Johannes. Space in the middle for Mbunjana. Now he's got to track back. McQueen is a dangerous man in this sort of situation. So is Allende. Sales knocked down to Allende. Santos, who pinged it in earlier. It's a nice combination. Wasn't able to provide the finish though. The Chilean midfielder. Sidman George. Joe Moto playing much more in the centre of defence now. Valia Kazulu, Mbunjana. This is Twango. Twango not quite focused enough. Letlaku manages to get the better of him. Mbunjana touched away by Velase, who's playing a much more attacking role tonight than what we ordinarily see from him. And forward by Maduna. An opportunity to press by Pulu. They don't look half bad with the ball at their feet, do TX Galaxy.
Yeah, they're the ones who now trying to control the tempo of the game. They are in the lead.
Being treated to some exciting football. Leon putting pressure on Topper Iro. Well, I'm not sure he's going to get away with that. Sense of frustration, very, very evident indeed amongst the players of Sundowns.
Yeah, you can see here Topper was under pressure, trying to move away from the pressure with that touch as well, but Leon there was forced to create a foul.
Knocked down by Mamelodi. Solis is back to help defensively, but he gets himself caught. Bompum Velase is blown for a foul. The 23-year-old who played at Lommel in Belgium before signing with Mamelodi Sundowns. His 24th appearance of the season, 20th in the starting lineup tonight. Mokoena finds Allende. Half an hour beckoning in Nelspruit. We are at the Mbombela Stadium. And if you've ever been here, it's very decorative with the seats in the zebra colours and the big metal giraffes around the stadium. 2 goals in the opening 20 minutes from the Rockets. Haven't been front by that margin. Both sides have had 3 creative efforts. Both sides have had 3 shots on target. But those from TX Galaxy have found the back of the net. Sundowns dominating possession, getting nothing out of it. Foul this time by Mamelodi.
You can see the pressing traps that TX Galaxy have. Once the ball was traveling high in the air, once the touch as well from Dunyelo wasn't as convincing, this man on the picture here, Mamelodi, put pressure to try to win the ball. So Mamelodi Sundowns needs to be very, very careful with those passes, especially at the back when they're trying to really organize play. They need to be very precise with those passes because they are pressing traps that have been done by TX Galaxy.
20 matches unbeaten since their only loss of the season against Abafana Bestende down in Durban. Nice ball, floated in. Sales tries to ping it at the second attempt. Comes up from Velase. This is Sidran George. Oh, just trying to slot it in towards Victor Letsawalo. Williams. Mokwena. Bunjana for company. Santos. Wide on the left-hand side, trying to provide a little bit of activity, and that's just about a save from Mochoong. How he got his bootlaces to that, only he'll know because he was down and stranded. But the pace of the match seems to have picked up a bit. Yeah. It's a lovely ball. Brian Leon. Kwango for company. Didn't Kwango bring it down? The referee says a corner. Big reaction from the supporters here. And a good challenge from Zuko and Delnyowa. Mamelodi Sundowns think they have a penalty, thought they had a penalty. Not given by Jelly Chavani. Can you just imagine what the reaction is on social media right now? Litlaku. Again, Leon back to his feet again. Ball goes wide of Santos. Pick up from Motiba. Allende again. Now Mokwena. Defense doing the right thing in the penalty area in a situation like this, or any situation. Have gone down and leave the decision up to the match referee. Made the call that didn't please Mamelodi Sundowns. Ghana, as I said, 20 matches unbeaten, 5 draws and 15 victories, 42 goals and only conceding 14 in those last 20 matches in the Betway Premiership unbeaten. Yes, Sundowns were beaten in the Nedbank Cup by TX Galaxy. Beaten by Pirates on penalties in the MTN8 as well, and lost against Bafana Bestende. Unbeaten at home, only 2 losses away. Grant Kekana. Watch out from Mokwena from this distance. Away by Zulu. Sidran George. Nice little tickle from him and an opportunity to attack Pukulu. Fans getting really excited about the prospect every time that TX Galaxy are in possession. Some good runs. Brian Leon's put himself in good positions. Arthur Salas has had some fabulous touches, and he's a tall man. So as a target man, he's working very hard. Allende had to get a wriggle on in defence, Mamelodi Sundowns, because Mpum Velase, of the age of 37, he's still got the legs, he's still got the hunger. And as we said, playing in a much more forward role tonight for TX Galaxy. We have seen him in this position before, but I don't think at the start of a game.
Yeah, he has been in that number 10 role, but also oftentimes you'll see him dropping in back into that 8 role because he does have that work rate that is required for the position.
Again, he sees a gap. Brian Leon sees a gap. It's a beautiful piece of defending from Zulu. His confidence, his positioning. Wonderful for the 31-year-old up against an incredible opposition tonight. 35 matches they played, 22 victories, 11 draws and only 2 losses in the season. A plus 40 goal difference, which is now plus 38. Velase's done nicely. Brian Leon will have a free kick. He has been bigger part of Litlaku. I don't think they've been singled out, but the challenges have been pretty stern.
Yeah, with there was a little bit of a touch there, but possibly the referee was trying to play on. But we're expecting a physical game. We're expecting TS Galaxy to put more a little bit of physique, and in certain instances as well, Mamelodi Sundowns have done the same as well. So it is about then who manages the game a little more better, especially when in possession of the ball. And you're expecting Mamelodi Sundowns to do better when in possession of the ball, but yet again, TS Galaxy are making it difficult for Mamelodi Sundowns.
Again, it's cleared by Mbunjana. Flicked back in though. Mbunjana does duty for a second time in a row. Santos, place at the back. Brian Leon continues to score. And a goal of match.
The goal comes at the right time. They tried to play this type of balls early on into the game, and they all fell to Tape, who was collecting them, but the second play they played. Look at Debs are playing one over, but Santos, they're realizing that that man will always be lurking in and around the box, playing in the right area, Tasmania, with the header, punish them and put Mamelodi Sundowns back into the game.
Absolutely back into the game, and now if they can continue to ride the tide, Mamelodi Sundowns could have finally found the launching pad. It's come late, 38 minutes.
But they have a goal back. Goal difference back to a -8 behind Orlando Pirates. But points, available assets, and those points haven't been achieved just yet. Brian Leon looking for the little cutback. The handball, penalty. The roar goes up from the Mamelodi Sundowns supporters. A Darcy draw level and scored 2 goals within 2 minutes of each other. And then the pressure will be right back on the home side.
It is indeed. Expected TS Galaxy to do a little bit better in terms of managing the pressure. And here's the incident here with Leon trying to play the ball there. It hits Velase on the hand, and the hand has been extended. And we know what the rules are when it comes to those type of situations.
Unfortunate for Velase, trying to explain
himself to his teammates. Nothing of that nature is deliberate, but it's all part of the game, and when it's spotted, they all count. Now, Tope Ira made some good saves today. Brian Leon looking to get into double figures as far as his contribution for Mamelodi Sundowns is concerned. 5 minutes in stoppage time away from half-time. Brian Leon, Tope Ira the wrong way, as was the case with Ronwood Williams. Sundowns are level at 2-2 with 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes.
Yeah, perfect response for a team that wants to get back into that leading ways and trying to retain the title. Started very bad defensively, conceded 2 early goals. This one here with the penalty, Leon again steps up to be able to punish TS Galaxy.
See how pumped up the Colombian is. Every right to be that way as well. Incredible. 2-0 to TS Galaxy after 18 minutes. Sundowns with 2 goals. One in the 38th, one in the 40th minute. Level at 2 goals all. 10th league goal this season. It's only his 9th appearance in the starting lineup. It is his 15th appearance of the campaign though. What a contribution he's going to make, and Sundowns will be reliant on him in the CAF Champions League come Sunday and the week thereafter. Mbunjana knows, and you said it too, Teko Madise, when the second goal was scored by Sedwin George. So much time still remaining, and Mamelodi Sundowns not 8-time champions for nothing, and not knocking on the door of the 9th consecutive championship, because they have flaws. Yes, every team has flaws, but they minimize things and they never give up, and they've got such a lot of quality.
And also what helps as well is being able to manage the stress that comes with pressure, being able to play under pressure as well. Yes, they didn't start good, but they managed to come back into the game. It's then how then they continue that.
It's a great ball pinged in by Moto, very nearly converted as well. So opportunities continue for Letsawalo. For one from the penalty spot, and if Chiefs Galaxy had gone in front before half-time again, I think the fans would have got ballistic here. Kekana. Ronald Williams will be very happy to see that the damage that was done at his end of the pitch has been rectified down the other. Makwena to Soles. Nice touch. It's a good little ball in from Ndunyewa. Now they open up with the Nuno Santos. Mutiba. Motoon clears. Leon dummies the defence and happily settles for the corner. What an atmosphere there is in Nelspruit this evening.
Yeah, you spoke earlier on, so then the intensity of the game has gone up a little bit. I think with all the goals that we've seen, both teams now opening up, so the intensity is what exactly brings this electrifying game to life.
Modiba. Santos trying to flick it into that area, looking for another handball, potentially. Nice header away. Once again by Motong. No danger for Tope Ira. Offside against Chiefs Galaxy. Surprised the players can hear the whistle in the cacophony of what is not quite a full-packed Mbombela Stadium, but I tell you what, the fans that are in here are making a heck of a racket, and rightly so. All of a sudden it's a different ball game, and all of a sudden I think there'll be much more attention being paid by the undoubtedly Orlando Pirates players that are watching this, as well as coach Abduslam Wadu. Matches still to come for Pirates against Durban City this weekend at home, against Albert College away in week 30, the 23rd. The league table. See Sundowns eke their advantage out by a single point, but 4 points clear of Orlando Pirates, and the goal difference is back to a +7. That is how we entered this encounter. They'll want to do a bit more than that. Zulu Concita corner. Brian Leon's on fire. All of a sudden a different expression on the face of Bernard Parker. Organising his defences. Grant Kekana, 33-year-old, former Tuks player, former Supersport United player. I think he ping-ponged between the two sides on a couple of occasions during his career before settling at Sundowns. 4 minutes added on into the first half. Allende knocks the ball behind the defenders. Nicely away from Bunjana once again. Mokwena, Mutiba. Somehow cleared by Mvelasi, and the ball reached him at an awkward height. Mvelasi, who conceded the penalty. What a great start by TX Galaxy. And that's all been eclipsed and equalised by this very, very quality Mamelodi Sundowns side. Oh, the ball's been left to bounce in the middle of the park by Maduna. Eventually he tied it up there though. Brian Twangle. Oh, and it's back into the area as well. They're having to react quickly here. Motoong reacts the quickest. Big chase on between Ndunyewa and Seluleko Maklambi. I think Maklambi's been a bit over-enthusiastic. Chiefs Galaxy fans not happy that one of their favourite sons has been blown for a foul, but foul it is. 90 seconds of stoppage time played. Igor Cardoso playing in his 86th match in charge of Mamelodi Sundowns, looking for his 55th victory and his second league title with the side, and consecutive CAF Champions League finals as well. Don't forget last season losing to the Egyptian side Pyramids after having beaten the Egyptian giants luckily in the semi-finals. Sundowns having seen off Esperance de Tunis in the semi-finals this time around, and Northern opposition waiting. North versus South affair. Corner taken, punched away by Tapeira. Just enough of a touch on it from Maklambi. Letlaku playing a dangerous game in front of Victor Letsawalo, and this should be easy for the Ivorian-born goalkeeper. For both sides during the first half really sets it up rather nicely for the second 45 minutes, the crucial one. Letsawalo just backing into Johannes, a clash of heads. Johannes comes off second best. Little Letsawalo with an opportunity. Oh my word. Matuna with a great chance and not able to hold on to his footing was the 26-year-old. Free kick allowed to be taken quickly, and Velasi's done beautifully. The shot should have been on target. Disappointing. 30 seconds away from half-time in Nelspruit. It's been an incredible first half so far, and it all set up beautifully for some more of the same during the second. Saleh's intervention from Maklambi. More frustration from Mamelodi Sundowns. And that is rightly a yellow card, and it's all starting to get a little bit overcooked. And suddenly the tempers flare. Oh, there was a foot in there. I don't think that was too nice at all. Leon is looking for some clemency, and heads are being lost in the middle of the park, and I think Motong needs to contain himself. The assistant referee is coming into it as well, and Bunjana and Kwango. It's a time of the season where, yes, there are going to be emotions that come into the thick of things, but not at this level. Trayon Leon getting involved with something with Opa Motong. Looks as if the free kick's been given to TX Galaxy. Trayon Leon with a yellow card will miss the next encounter, which will be next season. Pick up his fourth yellow card at the end of the season. That's all carried forward to the next campaign. So he won't start the season if he stays with Sundowns, Trayon Leon. Having a chat with the referee again, just asking the Brazilian to cool it. Let's have a look how this all perpetrated then. Yeah, well, I can understand he was frustrated with the outstretched leg coming from Seluleko Maklambi. In the meantime, Letsawako. Another wasted opportunity for TX Galaxy. 4 minutes were initially added on. The referee's played 5.5, but he does blow for half-time. Does Jelly Chivani. He's had his hands full on a few occasions, with emotions spilling over. Trayon Leon has scored a brace, but he's also allowed his temperament to just stray away from him just a little. And yeah, one does understand the frustration of being knocked over by his opponent, and then a little niggly challenge from Seluleko Maklambi. It was a really great start for TX Galaxy in the first half. Let's